Let's play soccer.
Okay.
I'd like to call this meeting to order, the regular meeting of July 18th, and it is 7 o'clock. As we gather today, I would like to acknowledge on behalf of this committee and our community that we are meeting on the traditional territory of the Algonquin people. We would like to thank the Algonquin people and express our respect and support for their rich history. And we are extremely grateful for their many and continued displays of friendship. We also thank all the generations of people who have taken care of this land for thousands of years. Please join me in a moment of silent reflection. Does any member of council have any pecuniary or financial interest to declare? Having seen none, we'll go right to the delegations. Lynn Davis. Wherever you'd like to.
Well, thank you all for your time tonight. My name is here. I'm here tonight on behalf of over 200 people whose signatures are on a petition asking Renfrew County Council to consider purchasing and installing crosswalks and a speed bump on Queen Street here in Killaroo. The petition was available for signing during March and part of April of this year at a number of locations in Killaroo. And as I said, well over 200 people signed. I did give Tammy I hope you all have copies of the petition. Okay, great. You will notice that the petition is addressed to Renfrew County Council. And this is because it was my understanding that since Queen Street is a county road, the petition needed to be presented to Renfrew County Department of Public Works and Engineering. And Mayor Mayville delivered a signed petition to Mr. Perkins, the Director of Public Works and Engineering for Renfrew County at the May 2023 County Council meeting. Shortly after that meeting, Mr. Perkins telephoned me and explained the following. Number one, Renfrew County Public Works cannot install what are referred to as courtesy crosswalks. This is the domain of the Ministry of Transport of Ontario. For instance, Barry's Bay has a courtesy crosswalk because it is located on Highway 60, a provincial road. Number two, Renfrew County Public Works also cannot install speed bumps on Queen Street, even though Queen Street is a county road. This is because of the heavy volume of trucks that use Queen Street as part of a major route to Highway 60. And lastly, Mr. Perkins explained that Killaroo Richards Council has the option to purchase at the municipality's expense and install pedestrian crosswalks with lights. So not courtesy, but pedestrian crosswalks. Renfrew County Public Works would then be responsible for the cost of maintaining these structures. Mr. Perkins also explained to me that Mayor Mayville was made aware of this information at the time of the May County Council meeting and by email as well. So I'll cut right to the chase. I first want to commend Councillor Bill Smith for bringing this issue to Council's attention at the last meeting of June 20. It was because of Mr. Smith's astuteness that the email from Mr. Perkins came to the fore and was brought into question. And Mr. Smith is correct when he stated that he, and I'm quoting here from the June 20 meetings, he feels that the discussion was not had and that council had dismissed a petition that was signed by a number of residents of Killaroo Richards before all correct information was received. And this is a very important point, and Mr. Smith is, I feel, entirely justified in his observation. It is my understanding, after having conversed with Mr. Perkins, that pedestrian crosswalks can be purchased and installed on Queen Street at the expense of Killaroo Richards. Renfrew County would then be responsible for their maintenance. So the initial expense would be on Killam Richards, but we would not be responsible for the costs of maintenance. I have spoken with numerous locals who feel that painting speed limits on pavement may be somewhat effective in slowing traffic, but not in winter on ice and snow covered pavement, and ultimately would not be as effective as pedestrian crosswalks at any time of year. And again, I'm speaking not only on my behalf, but on behalf of over 200 locals and visitors to Killaloe who in midwinter considered it a worthy and justifiable action to sign the petition in question. That this issue was discussed at the Killaloe Richards June Planning Council meeting, and a decision was made to quote remain within the previous decision, is, I feel, a huge injustice and disregard of the feelings and wishes of all the signatories on the petition. As Councillor Smith pointed out, this decision was made before all the correct information was received. Summer is half over. There are still no painted speed signs on Queen Street. The petition in question was left dead in the water for over 2 months and then paved over, unintended, at the last council meeting, and all the while pedestrian and motor vehicle volume on Queen Street has increased and is now at its peak. As it stands, there is no safe designated place for pedestrians to cross Queen Street. I'm wondering if we're in the 21st century. It's good to wish everyone a safe, happy, and healthy summer. But unless we work to create that reality, it's highly improbable it will happen. I have personally witnessed numerous close calls for pedestrians crossing from Grandma's Pantry to the Entry House Cafe, from the post office to Lake Street, from Station Park to the information booth. And I have listened to numerous accounts of close calls from friends and the public. I can relay to you some of these very scary stories if you wish. And as a matter of fact, you may have a few of your own. Everyone present tonight shares in the common bond of community. Each of us must strive to ensure the safety and health of our community and of everyone who lives and visits here. I feel that council's decision to disregard this petition is unacceptable. Unacceptable to me, to the signatories on the petition, and to the public in general. It shows a lack of willingness to investigate fully all avenues involved with the purchase, installation, and maintenance of pedestrian crosswalks on Queen Street. To finish, I have just 3 short questions. Number 1, will Killaloe Richards Council readdress the petition in question and consider purchasing 2 pedestrian crosswalks to be installed on Queen Street in locations where they are most needed? Number 2, what is the cost of the human life? And number 3, where is the original petition with the 200 plus signatures? Is it in your possession, Ms. Mayor Mayville, or in the possession of Mr. Perkins? Mr. Perkins is currently on holiday and will return in August. So I haven't been able to ask him that question, but I would like to see the original petition again. So that's it. Thank you for hearing me.
Cool. Anybody have any comments? You can start.
So this council has not investigated it as much, but the last council did. And we were told by the county that they would not cover anything. It's totally out of our pocket. They also told us that we needed studies done. Like, we just can't put them up wherever we think. We have to get studies done, which does cost a lot of money, and I understand how much is a life worth. I get that, but I cannot remember the numbers back then, but it was a lot of money. Secondly, I'm not sure where he's got his information from. But Barry's Bay crosswalks, that's not a highway road, that is a municipal road, they own that part of that highway. So that's why they have crosswalks there, because they don't have to answer to anybody on roads. That's not from the border of Barry's Bay to the other side of Barry's Bay. That's part of their municipality, that's not classified as a highway, they plow that, they look after that. So I'm not sure why Mr. Perkins told you.
And Mary's Bay, it's
Just, yeah, let Ted finish.
Sorry.
And as far as the paint on the highways. That's our Renfrew County letting us down again because we've been asking for it multiple times. It's out of our hands, we keep asking why it's not done and we get no response.
So can I ask you a question?
Yeah. Absolutely.
If that section of Bears Bay is municipal, why did they get a courtesy crosswalk in the town?
Because it's a municipal road, this is not a municipal road, this is a county.
But I thought it was county. Okay, I'm getting really, I'm really confused.
So just pretend that road would be just like Annie Street.
Yeah.
In their books. The highway stops looking after that road when they get to the Ultramar. And then the highway starts looking after it when they get to the other side of Barry's Bay on towards Way.
Okay, because I know what Mr. Perkins told me that courtesy crosswalks are installed by the province. I'm sure that's what he said, but I didn't.
He said what?
By the province, courtesy crosswalks.
Are installed?
Ministry of Transport.
I
Some
know,
information we were told in the previous council again. That no, it's up to the municipalities.
okay. Are you done?
Yeah.
Carl,
That explains.
Brian?
Yeah, I have a question. Did Mr. Perkins happen to explain why they're willing to maintain these after we put them in and they're not willing to put them in?
That's the policy. We put them in, we purchase them, we install them, kill them, and the county maintains them. That's what he told me.
I think he's telling you fibs because that's nothing what he told us.
Well, why can't we check it out? Like, why can't we?
Do you have
We
any
could get back to work in August and we could get this settled and maybe proceed. I have a whole bunch of people here tonight who are concerned about the traffic, getting across safely.
We are too. We are. We all are. This has been going on since the first day this group took office.
I realize.
This has come to the table every night and they got sick of me bringing it up. Believe me. But
Question is, why at the last meeting was the petition with over 200 signatures just kind of?
well, I'm not sure that's your impression. That wasn't taken that way at all. We had a healthy discussion. It was Bill brought it up. And we brought Dean involved and both Dean and I were told that it would cost, correct me if I'm wrong, $15,000 to $18,000 per crosswalk. And then council took that and voted on that. And we knew we couldn't have the speed bumps because it's classified as a, what's the highway called? What's this highway called? There's no alternate route. There's a number for it. I think it's class as class 2 highway. Yeah, whatever the class is, there's no alternate route to this road. So that's why they couldn't put speed bumps on the county road. So we had a very healthy discussion the last meeting about the costs and the speed bumps.
That's where I'm getting my information from.
Yeah, but I'd like to let the rest of the councilors speak also. Harold, oh, are you back again?
I'm back. No, we can't even get a school crossing sign down here at the public school.
Yeah.
We tried with the school board and everything, and they will not put up a sign, school crossing, all the kids walk down the street and cross the street down there.
You still have something else, Brian?
Yeah, I just, did you get a letter from Mr. Perkins or anything in writing?
He told me he was going to mail me a letter, it would be, I guess he described it as, shop talk, like he said it would be, there would be terms in it that I may not be familiar with and understand, so that was the reason for his phone call, that he just wanted to explain simply to me what the situation is. But I didn't get the letter.
And then have it.
Pardon me?
It'd be good to get it in writing, like in a letter or so.
I did call him back.
You know,
I did.
apparently, when he was giving us answers and being answers and giving you answers, they appeared to be different.
I see.
So I heard to make a judgment on that. You know what I mean? If we have it in writing from this person, then we know what to do.
I did call him just before he went on holidays at the end of June and asked for that letter. I said, I haven't received your letter yet. And he said, well, I sent it to Mayor Mayville. Yeah, but maybe that was the email that was mentioned at the last meeting. I don't know, but I didn't receive a letter. I didn't tell me he would mail me one and I didn't receive it.
And that's what he told me too, that you were gonna get sent a letter. And I asked Tammy if she got one, and both of us have not got one. So it may have been, he's gonna wait until he gets back from holidays, but I don't want to speak for him. But
Yeah.
Harold? Anything else, Dad?
Said and sold to them when we did about the cost of saying speed bumps and everything. So again, if you get it in ready, come on. And it looks like, as everybody else said, it's 2 different stories coming from it.
Yeah.
And we know how big this street is. It's not safe, but no, we need something from the county to tell us. And you know, and I can't see where they're going to maintain it, if we're going to put them up. That's not that you can't get across and get it, you know, to be honest with them.
Well, I'm not dreaming this for now.
I'm not saying
And
it's obvious,
Bill?
it's 2 different stories. That's what it's at.
Bill?
I agree with what councilors are saying and with what Brian said. It would be nice to see something in writing from Mr. Perkins, because this council has heard a number of different stories. And that's really what they are. In writing, and so that we can make a decision on that, and we've made a decision. Council has made a decision on the information we can get.
Maureen?
Oh, I think dealing with bureaucracy and politicians is so frustrating for everybody. But my frustration with the county, can Lee Perkins, like, can we get this guy in here to clarify this? Like, this has been, it just seems all the answers are different. And it's like, I look at this, you know, we've given them like $393,326, and we can't get like a straightforward answer about a crosswalk. Like, come on. This comes out like, you know, maybe twice, I don't know how many times, Tammy's gonna look and see how many times this payment comes out, but it's frustrating, and we feel your frustration, like, we feel it's frustrating.
I know it was a bit strong, but you know, I talk to so many people.
Yes.
And it's, I'm a health and safety person.
Yeah, but everybody here knows it's an issue, that's why we have that slow down sign down there, that's why we're getting the, you know, the 40, you know, the numbers painted on the road if that ever happens, but it seems like there's a lot of misinformation going, you know, it's just the message seems really different, which is why Bill's questioned it, because.
Well, he could certainly come over here, because
Yeah.
he told me he was, the week I spoke with him just before he left on holidays. He said he was over here on his motorcycle at the Fresh Mart and saw that corner, and you know, he said, I know.
Yeah,
And so it's not like he hasn't been here and has seen the situation.
The unfortunate part of it all is it doesn't matter what we do. We're not gonna slow people down. The only ones that slow them down is the OPP. And we've asked them on multiple occasions to enforce Queen Street more. That also falls.
Well, maybe we can bring Lee Perkins and the chief of police in here on the same night. And have a robust conversation.
I understand what you're saying, but we've had the police chief in here lots. And we get all the promises in the world.
So I'd just like
That's
to,
the last week here.
I'd just like to sum things up. Thank you for showing your passion. We all share your passion. This has been on the agenda since November, okay? This is the file, Queen Street. And these 6 counselors are sick of hearing me bring this up, because every time we vote, I bring it back up, and they don't like me doing that, but I think we all share the same feeling that this is a high priority, because nobody wants to see an injury or a death. And that's the bottom line. The last meeting, which you said you didn't hear, we did pass a resolution that we are going to put up signs. The county will put up signs at their cost on the county road that are, what are they called, community safety zone signs. And the detriment to the driver is that if you get caught speeding on those roads, it's double the fine. Now, plus, we had anticipated the lines being painted on the road with the markings. We had anticipated that being done before July 1st. So we've been let down too. So we're going to keep phoning and see where the progress is going. But we're doing everything we possibly can.
Can I say something?
By all means.
It's not just a crosswalk issue. Where we're talking about there on that blind corner. You can't pull out of there with a vehicle and not be afraid for your life.
Yeah.
I've almost been nicked there a few times stopping in to get a coffee on my way to work.
Well, we all have.
So
Both Ted-
that is, I mean, if they own that road, they need to do something about it before somebody.
Both Ted and Carl live right there, and they pull out every day. Yeah.
Well, they're doing the parking right in front of HA's, right on the side of the road, and they're right on the other side, like at the credit card on the highway corner. You can't see until you put your nose.
We're all in agreement. Everybody in this room is in agreement.
Another thing, if you think that they're coming to the crosswalk at Angel's Cafe, they won't. They will not, I would guarantee you they won't put one there because of that corner. It's going to be put maybe down to the old railroad tracks. So. And I hate to say it, but people have to take some responsibility themselves. Come out of that Angel's Cafe, you shouldn't cross the road there. You should walk
Oh, sorry.
north up further where you can see traffic in both directions across, but
The problem with that is people parking.
Yeah.
Are parking
Yeah.
across there
yeah.
in order to go in.
I-
So,
I know these are only words, but take it from us. We're trying to do everything we possibly can.
no, I.
We
understand
know.
that. Because I live back here again, and I've seen them almost hit my mother,
Mhm.
and I'm crossing her across the street. That I'm trying to make it that these people need to know that they're putting our pedestrians, not only our pedestrians, but people in vehicles at harm's way. Like when we had the construction last summer, I was afraid to cross the road myself, and I can hustle when I want to.
Mhm.
Because they come flying through there like crazy.
Yep.
So I mean. Your general people who live close there.
Mhm.
Are respectful and drive at a decent pace because they know people cross
Yeah.
there.
And just to add to the frustration, they had set up a speed counter. I don't know if you saw it coming into the town, and showed when you exceeded a certain speed, it flashed at you.
Right.
And there was a box that was hooked up to it, and in that box kept the data. And the data was to be provided to Dean and us, and to examine to see how many vehicles and the actual speeds. Somewhere the data's gone astray. So now they're going to put up another box apparently, and do the data again, so. But this has been very frustrating. Not just for you people, but for us too.
Like, I'd like to see that safety is put in place, not just for the people that are already here, but anybody looking at Killaloe as a place to come and settle. Like, my main reason for coming back here, obviously, now, was for Mom. But my intention was always to retire here, because I don't want to live in London and try and cross the road. I don't care if there's lights or not, you're gonna get hit. But in a little town like Killaloe, and I know people care, and I know council cares about the people that live here. But we have to make the province or whoever is responsible for this road know that we pay our taxes too. And we want to see something for it.
Well, I can
You know what I
be
mean?
assured, both Dean and myself, and Dean talks to his people at the county level often, and I talk to that Lee Perkins as many times as I can. So,
Awesome.
Can I say one thing?
okay, well, let's wrap it up. We'll do one
You
more.
know, I'll give you the end of it. You know, the highest speeders on Queen Street? We just paid them $138,000 is the old PP. They go past my house doing 100 clicks an hour. And they're the worst.
Without
speeders
lights
we got.
on or sirens.
All the sirens and lights, but they don't have to drive 100 kilometers an hour to kill. They're the worst speeders on Queen Street.
Could I ask what the action will be as of tonight? What will the action be? Where do we go from here?
Spike bells.
The action there.
The action,
Not get signs from the school advertising deaf kids, blind kids that play.
Yeah.
Let's fool them a little bit.
okay, I'm gonna answer this last question and then
Thank you.
where we are right now is that we're waiting until the lines get painted. After vacation, I'll be asking Lee Perkins where the petition is. And maybe what we'll do, I'll discuss this with Dean and council, that maybe we do bring Lee Perkins here for a night.
And
At a
possibly-
Well, I'm not sure, Ted, if that's realistic or not. Yeah.
There's a new.
Yeah, but he's been here already to this, not to this council, but the previous council. Yeah, but I'm not sure if that's realistic, but we'll see. We can always invite him, of course.
And according to Carl, earlier was the Enders.
Oh, God.
There was one set up in the one place for a month, one day. He put out what 30 days.
Yep. Okay. Okay, Lynn, thank you. Linda,
I'm here to represent the Killaloe Seniors and Friendship Club. My topic is a defibrillator. We've been here before about one, we were turned down. I think we really need one. To be a member of the club, it starts at age 50 and up. We have lots of activity going on there. And if something happened, I hear there's one in the Lions Hall. If I went down in the club, somebody's got to run around and get a key to get in the Lions Hall, to go and get the defibrillator to come back to me. I just said, you might as well just call Zora's funeral home and tell them to come and get me. We really need a defibrillator. I'm coming to council to see if there's any way we can get one donated or by the fire department. I feel we really need one. We're old there, and a lot of us have health issues, different ones. They have exercise classes, we have singing, we have meals, we have all kinds of activity going on that I really feel we could use one.
and plus your hours of operation are different than what the Lions Club are.
Yes,
And
it
here
is.
is from the CRC as well.
Oh, there is one at the CRC?
I don't know what's this one.
And again, if we're having a night meal, somebody's gotta, or during the day, we gotta run across the street. If Bill's not there or somebody's not there at the CRC, then what happens again? Go to funeral card?
No, I have a key to the seniors apartments and they have one.
Yeah, and again, it's far away.
Better than nothing. CPR. key too, so it's done already.
Let's just have one conversation, guys. How many of these are in Killeen?
There's one here, there's one at the fire hall. There's one at the curling club.
Right.
Right.
And CRC in the line itself.
I mean, we were closed down for 2 years or 3 because of COVID. Now we're back on our feet, we're getting up, we're getting lots of activity going on. I really feel we need one. And I hope council or the fire department or somebody will consider donating one to us.
Fire department.
They don't donate.
Everything comes to us, to the fire department, so the fire department can't.
I would like to-
Kind of programs out there.
Ours came, CRC's came to us through the Renfrew County Fire. They have a program, or they do have a program. Robert Blackburn is the person who.
Just leave it with me for now. I'll get a hold of a couple people and see what I can do.
We would appreciate that. Or they're gonna end up here with 117 seniors at your next meeting.
That's good. Tell you one thing, it's not going to change my mind on anything if it's one person or 100 people. I'm not persuaded that way, so,
But I would appreciate you considering.
yeah.
Thank you for your time.
Okay, thank you.
But just make sure everybody knows that there is one outside at the Gillu Fire Home. So if something ever happens, somebody can run out there and get it. I know it seems like it's long ways. But the defibrillator will bring somebody back if it's possible, even in that length of time, so.
And I know my first one.
We have a program going right now, there's 13 of them that are publicly available in the township. The one that's inside here, because of the requisition, if we move it outside, so we're gonna have one right at the doorstep here. And we just have to get the electrical work done on that. There's a small amount of funding each year that we get for the paramedic services. Sometimes it's enough to buy another defibrillator. Sometimes we have to buy the casing for it. Sometimes they're donated, but until that starts coming through the process, we can't do an awful lot on that. But we are getting there. If you've got them at the CRC, maybe it's time to consider putting them on the outside. There's been little to no problems with AEDs that are set up for vandalism or anything, even in major cities, they don't do it. So that would value of a few more that might be more strategically placed depending on what's going on. CRC's across the road from them. They already have one.
What if we're having an evening event or a weekend event?
If it's outside, it's not accessible.
The CRC closes every day at 4 o'clock.
I know
Yeah,
we're
we're
saying we
talking
might
on
see
the
it
outside.
Outside.
We're talking on the outside of the building.
Trying to get more of them put outside, so they're accessible at all 24 hours a day.
And like Bob said that,
No.
and like Bob said, there's been proven that there's very little damage to them.
We get them to the club, other locations, other ones that are outside,
Actually,
so
it
everybody would be aware.
was in a newsletter in this year, probably, yeah. And I had all the listings there, all the addresses of the 12 or 13 that were out there. You remember that, Karen? No. But we could reissue that.
Well, I still would like to be considered.
Oh,
Thank
yeah.
you for your time.
You will. Thank you.
Right.
Motion to approve the minutes of the regular meeting.
Moved by Bill Smith, second by Maureen McMillan, motion to approve the minutes of the regular council meeting of July 4th, 2023, open and closed sessions.
Discussion? All those in favor? Carried.
Okay.
And let's not forget.
Find out more at the new property owner. Here in Shelburne, Hager, which we had for the beginning of the year. After my lifetime. Been here 25 years. As of July. Cultivated 21 and then. 2 years ago. The adjacent property to. Was owned at one time by the owner of the property we bought. And there was a horse road from the highway down to my driveway. And it went beyond, but the fellow Dominic Smuglinski dropped some poles across to stop the access with just wire for access to that property adjacent right behind the township hall.
Yeah, excuse me. If you'd like to address council with, come through as a delegation. So we've had our 2 delegations tonight, but if you'd like to come back and just talk to Tammy, the CAA, and she'll take care of you. Bob.
Right. Our operations since our last reported the 20th. Got a bonfire complaint on the Fisher Road on June 21st, 26th. We had a lightning strike on a tree on Long Lake Road. And July 9th, another bonfire complaint on Queen Street. Ongoing activities, weekly truck checks, monthly equipment checks, recent events. Canada Day fireworks were canceled, as kind of everybody got on with that one. Now I need some guidance to deal with our contractor on that, whether we want to answer for this year, shoot it off this year, combine it with next year, so whatever council views are on that.
Do you want to go through your report first and then we'll come back to it?
We can do that.
Okay.
Okay, July 5th, we had no FM town meeting. July 6th, the officers meeting of the fire department. July 11th, NDMNF RS, a fire ban was rescinded. July 11th, we had a bi-monthly meeting, and on July 11th, we met with Greg McLeod for the discussion. Our discussion required, we'll do that later when it goes into the correspondence. Upcoming events, September 6th, Renfrew County Fire Chief meeting in September. September 12th, bi-monthly meeting, November 28th, bi-monthly meeting, and December 6th, another Renfrew County Fire Chief meeting in September. Fire prevention right now is mainly monthly newspaper ads. Training undertaken, June 20th, we had SCBA's, hose screens and nozzles. June 27th is going to be forcible, sorry, that should be July 27th, is forcible entry in class training. Scheduled trainings, July 25th, we will do full forcible training. We're getting a big steel door from Laurentian Valley loaning us, and we get to take action programs and whatnot, have all kinds of fun. August the 8th, portable extinguisher, hose screens, PPE, SCBA. August 22nd, extrication is planned for stabilization and airbags. On September the 5th, we're actually going to have extrication with a live scenario. September 19th is the smokehouse. And we have the next 6 training sessions listed. We haven't yet established what we're doing in a particular order. On the CEMC side, on June 23rd, in operations, we had the annual emergency management training and the exercise and upcoming events is not yet determined, but we do need to set a meeting date for the protection and emergency management program committee meeting. You got a date that you would like, Ted?
Get it done by a certain time there, Bob? Get it done by a certain time?
No, well, if you'd like to have maybe the meeting before September, because everything sort of opens up in September after the summer, late August would be fine.
So August 22nd.
August 22nd, Tuesday. I can do that. You want it evening or daytime?
It would be in the evening,
August 22nd,
but we could do it on 6:30.
6:30 here.
That's good for you, Harley.
Perfect, huh? That's it, so we get into the discussion, please.
You want to talk about Chris, or do you want us to talk? Or we blend everything together?
I think we should blend everything together. There's no point.
So, as you know, Canada Day fireworks were canceled. Okay, so what's happened in the past? I think there was one other time that it was canceled. It was the following year, there was part done in Round Lake and part back done in Kilwood. So that was one scenario. Another scenario would be to take what we bought in this year and use it for the Irish Gather. In your file, there's a report on here too, okay? So Chris has made notes to Tammy. Another one Chris had suggested was September long weekend. And then, or take everything and move it to July 1st, 2024, and have a big bang. Anybody have any feeling on any of those scenarios or other scenarios?
So I'm totally not sitting in Irish gathering, but it'll take away from the other events, the
Yep.
Is there penalties or anything to carry over for next year? You know, like what they're expired,
No, he supports whatever action we want to
as
take.
long as they're buying them, he doesn't care.
Yeah, he owns them already for this display, so it depends whether we're duplicating that or just using that or whatever we decide. He will be supportive of.
Yeah. Now, we paid the first half. And we wouldn't pay the second half until we use them
The day of.
the day of, yeah. Carl, any questions? Right?
I like the idea of carrying over for next year and having adding it to what we have next year.
Harold?
I agree, carrying it over, making it really
Bill?
fine.
Me as well.
Maureen?
Firework extravaganza,
No.
July 1st, 2024.
Now, the six of you, would you have any, what they did last time was move half to Round Lake and half here, or would your preference be all in Killaloe as a big, I'll use your phrase, extravaganza?
The last time was a barge. And I think that's very expensive, not to want to write on.
6 or 7 grand.
Yeah, because of circumstances, they're gonna give us a deal. It was $4,000 the last time they gave us a deal on that.
But
And then I think the year after that, it was put on your fingers and turned out. We had to replace it.
So what the statement we can make is that next year will be an extravaganza, and we can give Chris a heads up that. Now, one question I asked was, do we want to do two? Like this year's supply and next year's supply together, or should we maybe make it 1.5? Because what's one, Bob? 20, you said 20 to 25 minutes?
Yeah, the one we're getting, we asked for 25, but it's a convenient one at 20. When we went through everything, for instance, if you were sitting at St. Andrews, you know, what they call the cakes or the ones.
Yeah.
Below and whatnot, we put one on every minute, regardless of what else was going on, it was time, so every minute one went off. Now they're expensive, and that's 19 that we shot off.
Okay.
So it's a matter of what we want to do.
We don't have to decide. that
No,
right
but
now.
that's something to think about. Either we do a double bang or 1.5. He's, according to Bob, he's very flexible, right?
Oh, he'll be flexible on that, no problem.
So,
Whether you have double together here, one at Round Lake,
Yeah.
or put a double on the barge, whatever, I'm sure he'll work with it.
Probably couldn't.
pardon?
They're coming to kill.
Yeah, so my suggestion is let's just defer this, whether it's 1.5 or 2, until we get into the budget process, whether we want to take both or just one, whatever, okay? Everybody good with that?
we'll have a double bang.
Extravaganza.
And I can get back to him and advise accordingly.
Yeah. We're good?
Thank you, I'm not in a rush, we've got no training tonight, with another item in here to discuss.
In here now on your report?
Yes,
Okay,
it was.
Well, quick for him.
Yeah.
what plan?
You have a letter in your correspondence where it is pertaining to Bob. It's from the St. Francis.
It came tonight, right?
In regard to the foot care clinic.
them to use this. Use the fire hall.
That's what they want to do. And temporary measure, the temporary measure, not always that temporary.
How often will they do it?
Well, we're told once, but one article came in once or twice a month. And we're talking 6 hours a day that they would be there. Oh. And there would be no fire supervision whatsoever. I talked with Greg, and wasn't overly open to the idea, told himself. I guess the scheduling issue wherever they are now and wherever they're looking at going, there's construction issues and that's a lot of things to delay a lot of things.
We wouldn't charge them rent or anything, would we?
That's up to, that's Bob.
Can I speak to it? They're currently at CRC North Street. They have been for about 2 years. Our programming has increased to the point where it's difficult for them to get the dates that they need without interfering with us. It's an 8-hour day, a good solid day, at least. There are arrangement with them, and it's what they had suggested is that they pay us $100 a day every time they use it. It's typically once a month. They book it far in advance, like a year in advance, and occasionally, maybe 3 times during the year, they've had an additional day for them. So I know that they've booked a date at the Lions Club, and I believe they've been looking at going back into the Friendship Club because the internet issue has been solved there.
Yeah, I heard there's some internet issues at some of the locations as well.
I believe those have been solved, but
I think that would be a good way for either the Friendship Club or the Lions Club to make money.
but the Friendship Club isn't available this summer.
Oh, because of the construction. Right, okay.
Now, when Dale took Mr. McLeod for a tour of township facilities, they were eyeballing the courthouse as an ideal site, with the exception that it's got a carpeted floor, which I understand is to be removed and put in with planking. So that would have been an option, and it would have been a long-term option.
Mhm.
Now, Mr. Thompson has told me that it's not that expensive to replace that flooring. And I think it's about $6 a square foot, and that's for better quality shiplap planking that's going down. He could do the installation, but he doesn't have the budget for the building for this year.
I thought that was done in our budget. Or was it not?
No.
But nobody was sure that if they were gonna use it as a courthouse.
Because we had a good discussion on that. Not to?
I can say that the foot clinic is something that is really good to have in Villaloo. It's very well used and by people who live here and travel as a barrier for the people who are living there. Definitely. So
That's where the seniors.
I'm just not keen on the fire hall. I don't know, that's just me.
Which
I'm just not keen on the fire hall myself personally.
I'm not keen on it. And as I say, if you're talking 2 days, and you're going into the Friendship Club, anything can happen, but generally when stuff like that happens, then there's some delay for something else and whatever keeps continuing. And again, the lack of supervision, we're gonna have somebody, firefighter there to assist as necessary and make sure the doors are open, the doors are closed, locked.
Room do they need? How much room do they need?
Size of this room.
yeah,
One,
the size of
is there anything in the office?
Carpet.
Oh, it's kind of in there.
Brian, do you have any?
Yeah, I see where they like the municipal building at 47 mil, that would be the courthouse one, is that 47 mil? which would be permanent options. If they only have it permanent. You don't have that many employees, so it's not gonna happen.
Maybe they could assist with the budget of the flooring.
Well, I think, I mean, an organization the size of KHR to come up with, having to put $6,000. I know one of the issues that Dale had, he budgeted maintenance per building. And instead of having a building maintenance fund to fix what needs to be fixed, what needs to be fixed. The same when I do with trucks, I got a budget for truck repairs. I don't put a repair per truck. If you put them, open up the budget, like he already has the money. And anyway, that's an option. Try to throw out there. I guess unless we discuss it with Dale and see, it's his budget, anybody that's.
I don't know where he's talking about taking it, so I'd have to talk to him.
We can defer that. And
Absolutely.
until we talk to Dale and find out what he's thinking.
Are they looking for an August date?
Mr. Gonzalez is gonna give me any date whatsoever.
August and September, yeah.
August and September.
I think, like Phil says, it's very important, so we have to figure something out for it.
Yeah, let's defer this till the next meeting, because it's
But if we defer to our next meeting, that's August, right?
Dale, any more?
August 1st. Okay. But we would get flooring in that space anyway, they still need temporary space.
no, but if Dale's doing it, but if Dale's doing it, then you don't have to wait for someone to come in and do your work. He's doing it right away, so.
Also, are you gonna talk to him or?
Me? To Dale?
Yeah.
I can, yeah,
If you talk to them and ask them, then
or actually,
if we could bring everything this and see what's under there. Well, it's in the office.
or really, it should be Tammy.
Yeah.
We'll talk to, I think
We'll
it's.
let Tammy talk to Dale.
I think,
Oh, yeah.
assuming it's cement, but I'll chat with Dale.
Also should be careful with, depending on what kind of cement they have underneath, how they travel it, if it's gonna start becoming a tripping thing too, right? If it's
And
good
then,
condition.
and then the congestion down here will be a call to it. Well, so many people.
They'd access through the library.
Pardon?
What's the concern with using the fire hall temporarily?
Supervision.
Well, yeah, call it supervision, but even when we've had the OPP in there, we've had to have somebody on site, but that's in the time that's happened, it's been made, but they've only had 1 hour meeting, after having even lasted an hour. And we've had 2 in 2 years, so it's not that, it was again sensitive stuff with witnesses and victims of crime, so okay, they got a quiet place away from everything else. I know that had been discussed that they could be going using the courthouse as well, we have a place room at the back, et cetera, et cetera. I don't know how well those discussions went, I think the two was kind of the first ones. And he was here for a time. I think Dale did the talk with him as well, but I don't know where that's going to be. But here you're gonna have two nurses, which is fine. You're also gonna have 30 or so clients going through there, it's 8 hours, the building is not secure once you get past the front door. Yes, a couple of the office was locked, but everything else was open because it's a fire hall. You wanna jump from your ready room to your gear to your truck. So it's that type of concern.
Can't trust the seniors.
So can we just leave it? Tammy's gonna talk to Dale tomorrow morning.
No,
And
Dale's on holidays, he won't be back till next week.
Tammy's gonna talk to Dale on Monday. And then send us an email saying if he can or if he can't. And we'll go from there. How's that? And then we can reply to Tammy's email. Everybody okay with that? You don't like that?
You can't reply to me. Consider the meeting. I can give you the information. And we can go from
We
there.
can give them the instruction to act on it. how she sees fit. She
Okay, let's do
gets
that.
that perhaps.
Okay.
If that's a possibility, what would the other option be? Though?
Have a special
To say
meeting
no to them?
or to say no yet.
We don't want to.
If we attend, I think we have to try and make something work somehow.
Well, it's great for our community. Okay,
How about the council chambers?
Roads
It's not
is carpeted.
the kitchen area?
Something.
Oh, my God.
Okay. We'll leave that. Anything else, Bob?
That's it for me.
Dean?
Okay, so we're just doing right now, it's still the same thing, regular road maintenance continues, full patching, brushing and grass cutting along the side of the road, grading as well. Last week, our grader hydraulic pump went in it. We have got a technician down from Ottawa and, look at it, and we hydraulic pump, so it cost me roughly $900. Now it's without installation and for him to come tomorrow. So we need the grader, so I went ahead with it, so every day I do have room in the budget. We're gonna get tires for the grader this year, but I should be able to go with the tires that we have right now and put that for next year's budget. So in the meantime, if for some reason we don't get the bigger fix this week, what's coming those, right now we're using the truck with not way behind them, so it does a decent job. If we get a lot of heavy rainfall, some of the hills you won't be able to do the job, so the council be open to a rental if need be.
Like, you have to do something, you know, so.
Like see, you can only use so much with the black blade on the truck, right? Like it does a decent job, but you can only use so much.
Like a rental grader or contract.
No rental grader.
Where do you get a rental grader?
There's a lot of construction companies that.
Okay.
We've had one. How long is it, do you have any idea the timeline for the new one? I'm just putting that out there, yes, Brian, he's supposed to be here tomorrow morning at 8:30. But you know yourself with equipment, if something does go wrong, but he's supposed to be here at 8:30 tomorrow. But I can't anticipate anything going wrong, but again, it's equipment, you don't know what's gonna happen.
Everybody okay with that?
Yep.
Got to get it done.
Okay, so we also had problems there today with our garage door, or no, yesterday, this was with my garage door, the motor went in the garage. And we have a hard time, it's so old that the motor itself is obsolete. We can't get parts for it, so like, there was a guy in Pembroke that got one of our staff going out to see if he could get that. Got a motor for it, brought it back, and we had Jimmy Mask in there to look at it and put it up there, but he can't get it working, so it's not very promising. We put a manual just chain on it because we don't need an electrical. We want to put it up and down, lift it by hand ourselves. But then when we went to put that on, whatever happened with the motor, it lifted the door up probably 3 feet, and the cable all twisted and bent. So we ended up we had to cut the cables to get the new one. Nice. So I got Kim actually was talking to somebody from Barry's Bay there today, so I'm gonna give him a call tomorrow and see if he can come, they can come and repair it. But we'll need just new cables for it. We'll just need new cables for it. I'm not sure exactly how much that's going to be until we come to look at it. We do need it, but it's better than putting in a brand new system. Right? I think a brand new system is way off. That's what it was more.
We got 2 of them sitting on.
Real, just to give council a heads up, there's Real North Road is closed from Highway 60 to Scenic Road. It's the half is a town line of ours, but it's very big township that is doing work with the culverts installation, so it should be reopened tomorrow. But just to give council, if you could get another call, or if there's any calls, we're rerouting the traffic through the road. So it's coming on the road out to Hidden Trail back out to Highway 60. Just so council gets any plans with that. The only other thing I have is paving on Round Lake Road. They've been doing that now from, I guess, the Warner's Quarters past here. I guess when they were doing that, I had a conversation before with, you probably know what Brian, but I don't know if the road allowances for Turner's Road behind the houses, that's Smolsky's, G where the four-wheelers come out and use that. And in the past, we said that, you know, the road allowance, that we're not gonna shut it because the four-wheelers, you know, open or go through it and that. And the gentleman there was saying the four-wheelers were rooting up his road, et cetera, et cetera. So I got a call from the county today, he was talking to him as well, and he was trying to help him out to see, to alleviate the problem that could be done. His solution was the county would get Greenwood paving, pave the section from Round Lake Road into Summerlawn's driveway, so that would alleviate for $2,800 that the municipality would pay for. So I basically told him, I'd bring it to council. I said, I don't tell you right now, it's no, but I just not gonna bring it to council. He wanted the road down, shut off into the program, and I guess his driveway get moving up, and now he wants $2,100 back. I'll put it in that.
And you said the county volunteered us to pay for it?
Well, the county, I guess the guy on site, called his superior, and the superior said that if the municipality is willing to pay for it, they will let Greenwood pay the lawn immensely that.
You wanna pay my driveway too?
Like I said,
Do you need us to vote on that?
No.
I do have one question for you. I was going to the hospital today in Pembroke, where they're paving.
Yep.
Does it look wider than it did before?
I was only out at the once, I didn't.
They're not done yet. I think they just put the gravel and then there's another layer going on. They
started
Is-
today.
The extension?
Yeah.
Because it's supposed to be 1 meter on each side,
Yeah.
more to take the bike. Is it okay? Because this morning it wasn't. I said, oh, Jesus. Okay.
Yeah, because normally we found out and do two lifts like you said.
Mhm.
Is that what's going on today and then going wide? Yeah, that's why when we put the gravels in the shoulder, you'll see that, so they will right over the top of that.
Good. Good. Anybody have anything for Dean? Yes, Mr. Gill.
We own that property between the hotel and the building we tore down there, right? Down. Remember on Queen Street there, across from the post office. We tore that down.
We tore it down, but I don't believe we own it. We do not own that, no. No.
Just looking at that road, 4-foot weeds in there, that's all.
I don't think the township vested it in the name.
No.
Okay. Thank you. I know we'll see you later. Tammy.
Okay, so council had asked that I look into cybersecurity, so we did that, Charmaine and I. And in order for us to get cyber security insurance, to add the coverage, the limit would be $1 million. The premium would cost 240,000 plus an additional 100, sorry, not 240,000, 2,400.
What's your deductible?
Plus an additional $150 cyber fee. So basically, that's what our insurance company is offering. They need to know whether or not we want to move forward. This was not budgeted for. So if council does agree to it, it will be, our insurance costs will be over.
Be up by 240 a month,
The premium is 240.
total premium,
2,400
2,400.
for the
So
year.
that would be 2,400 plus the 100.
Plus $150 cyber fee
So that's over $2,500
additional
to the insurance line.
on top of the insurance premiums, which if you remember, we couldn't, we did up them for the 12%. But we couldn't forecast what they were until we got the actual premiums, which they went up, I believe, 15% instead of the 12.
I'm not a tech guy, but is it something we need?
Will we ever need it? I don't know. Is it important to have? I can't answer that. If we've never used it, then no, but if we ever. There's always that possibility that if we ever get a security threat, and they freeze our assets, we may not get coverage for that.
Like, remember I gave you that article about Stratford?
It's been happening in a few places now.
Yeah, this is just coverage. This has nothing to do with IT.
Yeah.
This is just
that's
coverage.
just-
No, this is just coverage.
No, but if you get hacked and your assets are moved, you get coverage.
Yes, yes,
So
it's not.
if you don't have it, you have no coverage. Like, that was that article I gave everyone from Stratford, remember?
The question, can the coverage be used for a ransom payment?
That's a very good question.
I would have to look into that. We had to fill out an application for it.
Because that's what they do, like, say a hospital gets hacked, pay us $250,000, and then we'll turn your system back on.
I'd be interested to know what it covers and what amount of administrative burden there is. Are they gonna be satisfied with our current level of whatever we're doing from a tech perspective? And are they going to require us to do additional work to make sure we're safe? Just like a fire insurance policy, you have to have smoke
Yeah.
detectors and things like that. Would there be something similar with us that would be an administrative burden?
Would it be something worthwhile for Tammy, for that insurance agent to come and visit with you? As opposed to on the phone?
No, our insurance this renewal is July 1st to July 1st. So we're trying to move forward with our regular insurance policy. So this is the last part because I sort of sprung it on them. This wasn't part of it. So that's why they came up with this. Now I can contact them, but I think that what I'm gonna have to do is just tell them to move forward with our regular policy. And this, we don't move it forward with, and if there is that option that that once we get all of that information, that we can move forward with it.
Yeah, we don't have enough information to spend the next 3,500.
Even though we do need it.
Okay, so the next thing that I have is I received an email from the Pembroke Area Airport asking for the township, asking if the township would provide a support letter for the actual airport, because they have the opportunity to apply for funding and they would like the support letters. They're asking surrounding municipalities for this. So I provided you a draft that is in there, and the draft that came. If council's okay with it, then I have the original here for the mayor to sign.
I think it's good. Everybody okay with it?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's gonna be some day where we are gonna use the airport. You could fly from there to Toronto and go to your Blue Jay game and be back.
Okay, the other thing that I have is that last council meeting, Mayor Mayville had inquired about bringing Community Futures here to do a short delegation. So Sheldon reached out, CC'd me in the email, they replied back. So now they're just looking for dates. So I just want to clarify when council would like them to come to present.
So would they be here for a council meeting, like their 15-minute slot?
Yes.
September, October? Yeah.
First meeting in September. And then the last thing that I have is from Community Development Coordinator Chris Neff. He received an email from the Killaloe Area Pickleball Club Committee asking if they could get a set of keys for the Killaloe rink. And they would be responsible for the locking and unlocking for washroom use while they are having pickleball. We've done that in the past with the
Yeah.
schools. They come here, they sign out a key, they're responsible for it.
I'm not getting in between anyone in the pickleball. Yeah.
And other than that, the only other thing I had to provide was the fireworks proposal from Chris. But you discussed it with Bob's report.
Motion for road and general voucher.
Moved by Harold Levine, second by Ted Brown, motion to approve the road and general voucher 06-2023 in the amount of $831,167.70. Discussion?
I'd like to ask Ted if he has any discussion because he's never been here before. Ask a question, Ted, anything.
I just have, I don't.
No, wait a second. Ted's going first.
Yeah, what's daily payment products for $10,000?
Just the president. Or just the president.
Okay, Mr. Kia.
I'm done.
Oh, that was yours? Oh, I have one, 25378. Near the bottom.
Mhm.
What's that for?
That's for Kill Pathways Park.
That's those chairs. The giant chairs.
He did those chairs?
I may have started the rumor that we're going to be having council meetings and the mayor was standing.
I must say, they're nice, they're eye catching.
Yeah.
They are that.
I was there to help Chris on Saturday. Pathway cleanup there, and yeah, they're nice. And when we're doing all that cutting, there's 3 different people walk through the trails, and it's nice that it's being used.
All buttons at the jerk.
Oh, but Ronnie, thank you. I should have.
All those in favor? Carried.
Okay.
This fall.
Okay, correspondence. I guess the only. We have 2 left. Municipality of Chatham, Kent.
I've prepared a resolution for that. I think myself as in the position that I'm in. I believe that the MFIPA needs to be updated. It's been 30 years since the last update, and we've come a long way from there. So I have prepared a resolution for council support. So if I can go ahead and read it, and you can let me know whether or not we support it.
You may.
So moved by Ted Brown, second by Maureen McMillan, that council for the township of Killaloe, Haggerty and Richards hereby agrees with and supports the municipality of Chatham, Kent with their resolution regarding time for change, Municipal Freedom of Information and Protection Privacy Act. Whereas the council for the township of Killaloe, Haggerty and Richards realizes the importance of the changes needed to the Municipal Freedom of Information and Protection Privacy Act as it dates back 30 years and has not advanced in line with current changes to government operations, public expectations, technologies, and respective legislations. And whereas the council for the township of Killaloe, Haggerty and Richards agrees that the Ministry of Government and Consumer Services be requested to review the MFIPA and consider all recommendations by the municipality of Chatham, Kent. And further, that this resolution be circulated to the Information and Privacy Commissioner of Ontario, MP Cheryl Gallant, MPP John Yakubuski, AMCTO Legislative and Policy Advisory Committee, all municipalities in Ontario, and AMO.
Discussion? All those in favor? Carried.
Thank you.
The next one is the hospital one in regards to Stone Fence Theater. Basically, they want to know if we want to put this on our Facebook page. just for advertising purposes. Yeah, so we'll support that.
Saw somebody tonight that seen the rehearsal and that, and stuff, it's just great.
Yeah.
Very, very.
Would courage though?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Want to try to get to the portion out when I'm not around, but.
Any motions for the bylaw? Yes, there is.
Okay, so moved by Bill Smith, second by Harold Levine, that bylaw 31/2023 being a bylaw to establish sewage and water rates for the year 2023. The township of Killaloe, Hagerty, Richards at its regular meeting held on July 18th, 2023, be given its first, second, and third reading and finally passed this 18th day of July 2023.
Discussion. All those in favor? Carried.
Okay.
Any unfinished business? Any new business?
I think he,
Yep.
I thought it might have been brought up already. I was meeting with, the librarian, Nicole, earlier today, and she mentioned that, the request was going to be coming to council tonight, she thought, regarding the possible storage of the kayaks in the former Welk office for the duration of the summer. Currently, what happens is when anyone rents a piece of equipment at the library, the staff has to leave the library to go down to the basement and haul it up, which is onerous enough, but with the kayaks, it's an extra burden on the staff, and it would be great if we could leave them in that empty space.
Do two people from the library have to carry those, or one can carry one?
I don't. Probably.
Yeah.
I think Dale was going to provide a report and he didn't. The only concern that he had with that is Welks is alarmed. And we don't know at this time what the alarm code is. But as soon as, and they've tripped the alarm before, and it's a process to get shut down. So that's the only thing that Dale was gonna look into, was to see if we could access Welks alarm. Because I mean, so that they could have access to it. Right now it is alarmed, so when nobody is here on weekends, it's alarmed. When we come in and we shut off the alarm, it's not alarmed.
So the only day would be Saturday then. But they don't rent out Saturdays, do they?
I'm not sure.
I think they have, do they not have hours where, like Monday to Friday, you can rent out?
The library.
Well, why don't you? You're gonna meet with Dale tomorrow. Or Monday, yeah, that day too.
Sure.
It's empty, totally empty. Okay,
So that would be a yes, if we can get the other option. Cool.
motion
One
to,
quick thing.
oh, yep,
I just want to mention that the municipality was well represented at Lorna Hutter's annual golf tournament there. We had a lot of fun, lots of stops, and our auditors go get audited because he won the tournament. We thought it was gonna get cheap. But it was a good.
Great.
Good show.
good, good,
And I have something to-
okay,
Sorry, mine's really quick. Just an update on the Loggers Festival. So we had a meeting with Stanley and everything is rolling along. And it looks like we're going to have a robust Loggers Festival on September the 23rd.
and
Around like September 23rd.
it's on the back of Chris's page that he gave out.
Yeah,
How are sponsorships going?
we're just getting started
Okay.
on that, but we've digitized them. Which is something, so we've got Stanley on Google now.
Yeah, right,
Well,
yeah, right. I gotta see this.
So we digitize it, what we're trying to do is plan for the future, you know, future planning so that we can keep this going.
Well, good.
Yeah, but it's been great having Stanley and all of his knowledge and all of his connections with us here.
You won't need it not in front of that. But do you think it'd be only fair if we made, like Stanley's going to drive around. I think it'd be only fair to pay them average, as far as I'm concerned. Like, you can only volunteer so much for the price of gas and vehicles and stuff. I don't know, that's my opinion.
Well, that's the thing we can, that's something we can do.
Yeah, we think so.
He's doing all the driving,
Well, yeah, I didn't.
I don't think he's gonna do all of it because we should be doing some and some of it's gonna be electronic, like e-transfers and stuff. So I don't know if it's gonna be, it's not necessarily as much on his shoulders now that like Chris has a student involved, I'm involved, so we've got more boots on the ground, I think, than maybe before.
Because some places he'd have to go 3-4 times. You know,
Yeah.
the guy would ditch him, you know?
But gonna miss it because people know him now, and there's a lot of them that are truck drivers, 700 miles away, where he's getting money from.
Yeah.
There's a truck driver's going there, he's gonna bring it back, I mean.
Yeah.
You know, it's about, people are going to find out really how much he really done,
Yeah,
he done it all.
And I do have one thing. The meeting's on August the 1st and August the 15th. Is anyone not going to be here for those meetings? I just want to make sure we have quorum. You three are here for both?
I'm hoping to be here, you know, if
Okay.
it's a nice matter of form.
Yeah. Well, I just got to make sure we got quorum. Yeah. Okay. You guys are okay? Okay. You're okay?
Mhm.
Okay. Motion to enter into committee of the whole.
Moved by Ted Brown, second by Maureen McMillan, be it resolved that council move into a closed meeting pursuant to section 239 of the Municipal Act 2001 as amended for the following reasons. Personal matters about an identifiable individual, including a municipal or local board employee, and litigation or potential litigation, including matters before the administrative tribunal. Affecting the municipality or local board.
Oh, discussion. All those in favor, carried. I got that spare.